Okay, we got Facebook, YouTube up in here. Welcome to everybody, no matter what form you on. Welcome, 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 welcome. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Wanted to pop on here early morning. I'm about to get a early start. So I figured I would pop up in here, chop it up here with y'all for a little bit before I get out here and get this day started. What's up, family? If this is your first time joining the live, welcome. I go by Zabo103. I'm the dude that get on these live platforms and realistically, you saying you can't hear me? You might have to, somebody let that person know on Instagram, they may have to log out and log back in because everybody else can hear me. But I'm the person that get on these live videos and in a nutshell, y'all, I just be trying to provoke thought. That's it. I really just be trying to provoke thought. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And sometimes when I get on these lives, um, we typically go down a path where, for some people, things start to click. And when these things start to click, um, people normally start taking action at that point. So let me start off by saying this because I'm not going to be on here for a long time this morning because, again, I got to get ready to do some running around. But if you are a person that wake up every day during the week and have to fight traffic to get to a place called work, this weekend is an opportunity for you to start thinking about how you can change these things. That's just the truth, y'all. Now, I don't want to make that more complicated than what it is because you really have a lot of thinking you need to be doing. And the reason why I'm saying you have a lot of thinking that you need to be doing because I haven't met anyone and maybe there are people out there like that. I'm just not familiar with those people because I know everybody's not the same. But I haven't met anyone that loves to get up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday, waking up thinking and understanding that they got to go and fight through traffic to go to somebody else's job. I just haven't. Most people that I run into, they be like, I like my job, but man, I would love if I can do this for myself. I like my job, man, but I would love if, and they have all these other things that come behind it. But what typically happens is on Monday through Friday, when you're going through it, that Saturday when you wake up that morning, you so relieved that you don't have to fight the traffic. You so relieved you don't have to deal with that coworker. You so relieved you ain't got to deal with your boss that you just want to let your hair down. And you don't spend the necessary time working on your last name. Think about that for a second. That's a crazy, crazy mentality. But as long as you've been working, that's been the mentality because you don't have time to think. I know when I was at Bank of America, some Saturday morning, I would hop up real, real quick, thinking I was about to be late. I'm like, oh man, today's Saturday. Think about that for a second. You can't even get comfortable long enough before it's time to get back in the rat race. It's designed that way, y'all. The longer you don't think, the longer you stay in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you're not helping anybody other than the company that got you in survival mode. And I know it sounds backwards because, like, well, I got to go to work because I need money to pay all these bills. These bills ain't going to pay themselves. But what you have to understand is if you give yourself a moment just to think, that's when your life will start to change. Because a lot of these things that people think are so complicated that they can't figure out, it's really just common sense, y'all. But you don't have time to think, so it's not that common to you. Yesterday, I was going through the example. We were talking, we went down the path that I never really want to go down, and that's the path of politics. And I had so many people that jumped into my life: vote blue, vote red, doing all this random stuff, y'all. And I always ask the same question, and because I don't know, y'all, I don't get it, and it's because my brain is wired a little bit different, and I get it, I get that, but it never, I never can make sense out of it, right? Shout out to Biden, shout out to Miss Harris, right? They've been in the office for the last 4 years. So for all you people telling us to vote blue, how has your life been for the last 4 years? I'm just asking a question because this is where I get confused. And don't be ashamed, y'all. Don't be upset. For all you good, clean people that's telling people to vote red, in 2016 all the way to 2020, when Mr. Trump was in office, how did your life change? You're still waking up Monday through Friday going through your rat race. You're still trying to figure out how to get out here and do what you need to do. This is not me telling you not to vote. Definitely go vote. But voting is a private decision that you need to make for you. I hope you understand what I just said. It's a private decision for you. The scarier part about this is, and I keep saying this too, the laws are written for wealthy people. I didn't say rich. I didn't say middle class. I didn't say poor. No one in their right mind is going to do something to negatively impact themselves. Not me, not you, not you, not you, not you. No one is going to do anything to negatively impact themselves. If you haven't figured it out, boys and girls, Mr. Trump is wealthy. Miss Harris is wealthy. They're not going to put things in place that are going to negatively impact themselves. I don't understand why us good, clean people, can't just understand that. It's almost scary when I think about it. Because everybody waiting on the next big reveal. What's going to happen? What's going to change? How is this going to be? How is that going to be? You've been on this planet for 20 plus years. You've easily, in your lifetime, been through at least 4 to 5 different presidents, whether they were on the right or the left. Help me understand how your whole life you've been going through this same rat race, no matter who's in office. But now, yet again, you're going out here fighting for somebody else's last name. I've seen these two men almost come to blows fighting for somebody else's last name. vote for Harris, vote for Biden. I mean, vote for Trump. Going ham for somebody else's last name and won't even pink somebody for their own last name. Somebody help me make this make sense. How are you going so hard for these people last name and your kids wide open and you won't even pass them the ball? This stuff is wild to me, y'all. This is the reason why when I get on these platforms and I hear people say these different things and I get into these moments, I just try to steer away from it because it's stupid. It's the same thing with the relationship conversation. It's stupid. It doesn't make logical sense. And let me just say this. Let me say this for the record. This is a safe place. Everybody welcome. I'm just showing love. But for the life of me, I don't understand why people don't understand if you're just dating someone all the time and you never become one, both of y'all are in consumership. Who wins in this situation? Not you. The owner who's selling you these products and these services are the ones that's winning. You can't ever build anything because you too focused on consumership. Man, I can't trust these women, man. Tired of these women, man. They don't want nothing but your money. These women don't want nothing but your money. You a consumer. You used to giving away your money. You used to it. I don't understand. Everything you talk about doing, I'm gonna go hang with the fellas. We gonna go to the bar. Me and the fellas going on the trip. We going out the country. Me and the fellas gonna go to the game. You a consumer. You always giving away your money. Make this make sense. And ladies, you're not exempt. I'm not a woman, so I ain't gonna speak on y'all too much. What I will say is, men ain't nothing unless they your boss at work. Your boss at your job, whether he look like you or not, he tell you to jump, you say ha ha. Man, I ain't mess with these no good men. They ain't gonna do nothing but hurt me. You hurt yourself when you decide to be single. And I'm not hating on nobody single. This is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you bash the other party and don't realize that you're in consumership, you're screwing yourself. I had this young lady, she said, I ain't never gonna deal with no man that wanna go 50-50. And I'm thinking to myself, you paying 100% right now. You're paying 100% right now. I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm saying at some point we gotta use common sense. The world is designed to keep you in consumership, boys and girls. And I can't make this stuff happen. I can't make it happen for you. You have to make this stuff happen for yourself. You're in consumership. Start fighting for your last name, fellas, ladies. Why am I telling you to fight for your last name, ladies? Because if you fight for your last name and you find a man that's fighting for his own last name, you still gonna continue to fight for your last name. When he decide to give you his last name, then you still gonna fight for your last name, which is your new last name. But just because y'all went out a couple of times, he didn't take you to dinner. He didn't, y'all didn't moved in together. You always, ladies, still need to fight for your last name, whatever it may be. So what does that mean? If he not gonna make you his wife, and I'm not giving advice, but if he not gonna make you his wife, you still fight for your last name, ladies. It just is what it is. What does that mean, fellas? You want a woman that's gonna ride, stick by your side, and do all this stuff? Give her your last name. Marriage ain't nothing but a piece of paper. So is money. Man, I know these married folk, they just go through it. They be cheating and doing all this stuff. Hey, look, that's happening to you while you're single. It just is what it is. But you gotta think, y'all. The world is so ah, it's an amazing place, y'all. It's an amazing place when you get to that point in your life where money no longer becomes your issue. It's an amazing place when you can be around the people that you say you care about and love the most all day, every day. Don't nobody want to be around nobody all the time. I know you've been single for all this time. You just used to being single. I get it. But you telling me you okay with being around the people at your job more than the people in your house? Maybe that's a real thing for people. But I can tell you flat out, I love not having an alarm clock. I love just getting up whenever I want to get up. I love just making the decision when I get up. Hey, I want to do this today. Let's do this, and we just do it. I just love doing what I want to do when I want to do it. I love the fact that I ain't got to ask daddy for PTO. I love the fact that I ain't got to figure out, or am I gonna get an occurrence for taking this sick day when I ain't got nothing but a half a sick day left and my kid's sick. I love the fact that if I want to go inside one of my companies, I can take my kid with me whenever I want to go. Bring my kid to work every day if I wanted to. I love the fact that, you know, my youngest kid ain't never seen his daddy work a day in his life. I love that. I love the fact that I get to see him take his first steps, say his first words, try new foods. I love the fact that I ain't got to have a nanny tell me this or a teacher tell me these things. I love the fact that I can get on social media and have over 1 million followers between all these platforms, and my wife never worried about me sliding no chick DM. I love that. Why do I love that? Because life becomes very different, y'all. It's a very different place. I love the fact I ain't out here stressing on if I need to vote red or blue. Because I understand that wealthy people, that's who the laws are written for. So what did I do? I went and got wealthy. It's just that simple, y'all. When you make a decision to do something different, it starts with you thinking. So on this good, clean Saturday morning, what's going to be the decision you going to make? What's the decision that you going to make? Are you going to make a decision to still be in consumership? Are you going to stop giving yourself the excuse of, I'm just scared, so I can't take this step, I can't take that step? Or just a thought, you going to make the decision to think about what it is you really want to do, start researching how to make it happen, and then start taking action so those things can start to transpire. Because the one thing that that I'm starting to understand more and more, you can be rich, you can lose it all. You could be in the middle class, you can lose it all, or become rich. You could be poor and become rich. But you always can lose it, right? If you rich, poor, middle class, it don't matter. You can lose it. You only got to get wealthy once, y'all. You only got to get wealthy once. Once you become wealthy, it's game over. There's always a way because you know how to think and you know how to research things and you know how to take action. Why you only got to become wealthy once? Wealth ain't money, y'all. It's time. You just need time to think. You need time to think. Most of the time, when you very first start off doing this thinking thing I'm talking about, you get distracted and you do something else. Now that just is what it is. You get distracted and do something else. How is that possible? You be thinking about something and then some pop up and you distracted because you're not used to doing it. That doesn't mean you don't know how. That means you just got to keep on forcing yourself to do it until it becomes something natural. Some days I sit around and I just think and dream and brainstorm for like 7, 8, 9, 10 hours in a day. I might spend some hours researching what I just thought about. Think about that for a second. So when I decide to take action, I have a little bit more sense of direction on what I'm doing. And as I'm actually taking action, the things that are real, they're like, oh man, I got that one right, straight out the gate. Nobody else had to redirect me. That's a profession. I also understand that, and it's gonna suck for me to say this, so nobody get offended. Most of the time, the people that are going to direct you or correct you that are in that profession that is assisting you, they're good at the product that they're selling. They don't know how to connect the dots. I want you to think about that for a second. Because in my mind, this is what I used to think. When I very first became wealthy, almost a little bit over 4.5 years ago, I was thinking like this. And maybe it's because I'm always thinking and my brain just kind of do its own thing now. But I always used to say, like, why these financial advisors aren't wealthy? If you're a financial advisor, why are you not wealthy? If you are a wealth manager at the bank, why are you not wealthy? You're an attorney that specializes in trust. Why are you not wealthy? I'm very curious, y'all. No shade. You're a tax. You're an accountant. You're a CPA. Why you not wealthy? I never understood that. And then it clicked. Wealthy people aren't experts at one product. They're not even really, I should say they're not expert as one product or one thing. Let me say it this way. Wealthy people do everything in their power to become an expert at time. about that for a second. This is the reason why when I'm on these lives and we having these conversations and people start talking about things that I don't really know much about the field, but I can think through just a process within seconds and say, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. Because I'm not looking at just the product that you're talking about. I'm looking at your time. What do I mean by that? Every day I have somebody hit me up about cryptocurrency. And I always say to myself, that's gambling. And some people be upset when I say that out loud. I ain't put my money I'm not gambling. I'm not doing it. I did that the first over half of my life. I'm not doing that again. I'm not gambling. I'm only putting my money into things where I can get me a guaranteed return on investment. Period. Or a guaranteed return on my energy. It just is what it is. So what most people do is they say, I'm gonna go start a business. I got this product that I'm gonna sell. And this product that I'm gonna sell, they also are the same people that has to get the products to these same very customers. This is why you burn out. I'm just telling you. You got a service that you provide and you got to provide the product of the service. Or you come up with an amazing product and you try to figure out how to provide the service too. And the thing you got to try to understand is how much time is being taken out when you're doing that. Anytime you have to take your time out to do anything, you're going to come up on the short end of the stick because you're going to run out of time. What do I mean by that? What happens if in order for you to do what you got to do for your business, the product or the service that you provide, if you have to actually give your own time to get this thing accomplished, what happens when you're sick? What happens if you do want to take a vacation? Business trip, as I like to call it. What happens when you leave this planet? It only required your time. So even though you're building this thing to leave for your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids, when you leave this planet, they ain't you. What's going to happen? Anything that you do, you got to start figuring out how you can get your time back. I have people all the time, Zabo, I got this good opportunity that I would love for you to invest with me. You wouldn't love for me to invest with nothing that you got going on. I ain't got number one partner, my wife. We signed a lifelong contract together. Ain't nobody else name on that contract. It just is what it is. But I got to ask the question because I want to know. How much time do I got to put into this? Well, you ain't got to put no time into it. Really? Okay, so how am I investing? Because I ain't got no money. Well, you got to have some money to invest in it. Whoa. I ain't got no money. So you want me to get involved in your opportunity. Think about that for a second. You said, so I don't reach about to people about business? No. No point. You over here on TikTok. It's 105 people over here on TikTok. between these other 6 platforms, we probably about like 500 people. Put a 1 in the chat if I've ever reached out to you about business. Just curious. And I've been on live for the last 99 weeks straight. Oh, appreciate it, Steve. What it is people be making fake accounts of me. I ain't no celebrity. I ain't no guru. I'm just a random dude on the internet, and people making fake accounts saying that they me, asking people for money. I'm a little bit more bold. I'm a little bit more bolder than that. If I'm gonna ask you for money, I'm gonna go live and ask you for money. I only got 1 account, and I refuse to get this thing, those blue checks. I refuse to do it. Ain't nothing wrong with it if you got it, but I refuse to do it. I just figured if people want to know that it's really me, tell the people to go live. Tell them to go live. I'm always gonna go live, y'all. That's my blue check. I'm always gonna go. That's how you cancel all that stuff out. But the bigger thing is this, and I want to make sure we are, man, because I know people have to start from wherever they start at. So I don't want to crush anybody's dreams when I say this. People, y'all gotta stop doing business with people that ain't in business. I'm gonna say that again. Y'all gotta stop doing business with people that ain't in business. Why am I saying it that way? You have people that talk about all the time doing business, and they'll cash app you to death. Send me a cash app. Okay. You don't have no business account? Where's your website? Okay, this is your website. It don't cost nothing to really do no website. You got a merchant account on here? No, I just go through Cash App. You can Zelle me or Apple Pay me. Well, just get a merchant account. You can add those things onto your merchant account if you want to, but why don't you have a merchant account? I'm just confused. You telling me all this great business you're doing, how you gonna make me wealthy and rich? And let me be clear, y'all. As a person that tried some of everything, as a person that lost $90,000 to a coach, because I paid them to think and research for me, I was pretty ignorant. No one can make you wealthy other than you. No one. I don't care how many gems you say I drop. I don't care how many bars. I don't care what it is. No one can make you wealthy but you. It just is what it is. I don't care how many courses you done bought. I don't care how many books you done read. That should be enough proof that no one else can make you wealthy other than you. The stuff that is shared from the perspective of the person that's sharing it is their perspective based off of the time frame that they were doing what they were doing. I can't make that stuff up. You don't find it funny that every time somebody becomes successful, I'm gonna call it successful, right? And success is whatever you think success is, right? But every time somebody becomes successful and they start teaching people how to become successful like them, no one ever can do it exactly the way that they did it. It ain't never nobody with no testimony say, yep, I did exactly what they did and I became successful and now I can teach people the same way. Everybody that you look at, they always blaze their own track. I used to wonder sometimes, why is that the case? Going all the way back to Carter Sheets. When I had that Carter Sheet thing, I said, boy, I'm about to be a guru. Man, that didn't help. That didn't help at all. It was wild to me. Anything you can think of, I was buying. Man, they got to know what they talking about. They successful. I can do what they doing. I'm going to be good. And then it clicked again. If I'm a business owner and you're purchasing something from me, that makes you a consumer, right? Why would I explain to you how to do what I'm doing so you no longer can be my consumer? It doesn't make sense. This is why you got to get to know who you are to figure out what you want so you can actually dream about how and what you need to do to make what you want to happen. Once those things have transpired, guess what, boys and girls? Your path is going to look a lot different than everybody else because it's based on you. People ask me all the time, you doing Forex, you do cryptocurrency? No, not at all. You day trade, you in the stock market? Nope, not at all. You into real estate? I guess you could say I'm into real estate, maybe. Okay, what you wholesaling properties? Nope, not at all. You got a bunch of rental properties? Yeah. Okay, so you're a landlord. Okay, but that's not what I do. I buy land. Oh, you flipping land? No, I'm not flipping land. You make money when you not when you sell it. Well, what you doing with the land? Man, I got 100 acres of pecan trees out here. I got land with this on it. I got some cell phone towers on my land too. Why people ain't talking about that? Because people got to blaze their own track. It don't mean you go out and do the exact same thing I do. You might not want the exact same thing I want. You may be okay for your bills to be taken care of for the rest of your life. You may be just okay with that. I'm gonna leave my house to my son and my daughter. And I'm gonna leave them a little money behind. You might be okay with that. And if you're okay with that, that's okay. Figure out what it's gonna take for you to accomplish that and start taking steps towards making that happen. When you start taking steps towards it happening, guess what, y'all? It ain't gonna look the same as anything or anybody else that anybody else is doing. It's just not. That's the truth. What is pretty consistent though, that I found for people that are, in that world of becoming wealthy, picking up the recipe that our ancestors gave us for free still works. Finding a piece of land to call it your own. Once you get on that land, building some shelter to get out of the elements. Once you get out of the elements, going to find food so you don't starve. Once you done found your food, realizing that I can put clothes on my back. Those four things are still constant, y'all. And I don't know how many more ways to say it. If you didn't have to pay for a mortgage or rent, you didn't have to pay for clothes, you didn't have to pay for water, you didn't have to pay for food, you know how different your life would look? If you never had to pay for those four things ever again in life, you know how different your life would look? That's what your ancestors did. This is why you got to think. You got to. I don't care if you're driving trucks and you want to get you some trucks. I don't care if you did in the stock market, doing cryptocurrency, private banking. I don't care if you into law. I don't care if you into medicine. I don't care what you doing. Those four things you gotta have. No matter what your dream is, it includes those four things. It just is what it is. So you got to start really understanding who you are and start thinking about what it is that you really want. Because ain't none of this other stuff real, y'all. Ain't none of it real. It's all an illusion to keep you in consumership. Now, if you are a person that's trying to get somebody attention, right? Some of these other things you need. It's part of gimmicks, right? What do I mean by that? You need the expensive clothes, jewelry, shoes, cars, house. You need all that crap. You need it because you're trying to influence people, whether good or bad. You're trying to influence people to do these things. And I thought it was rather interesting. This is me. That when I started going live 99 weeks ago, giving free information, not coming on live being as flashy, people weren't paying attention. And some people were, don't get me wrong. Because once you hear it, you can't unhear this stuff. But a lot of people, they're like, whatever. So I said, all right, well, let me go ahead and conduct business. Let me just be a little flashy. My wife won't stop shopping anyway. The flashiness made people, I got to at least hear what he got to say. I know that shirt he got on is $1,000. It's a t-shirt. He easily paid 30 grand for that presidential. I want you to think about these things. It made you stay long enough to at least hear something, right? Just to hear me say, it's all an illusion. Don't none of this stuff matter, y'all. What matters is that you get in that mirror and look at who you are and start to think about what it is you want to do. If you like the person in the mirror, great. Start blazing the path on what you want to do. If you don't like the person that's in the mirror, guess what, boys and girls? Become the person you're trying to be. I'm with you on that, family. All I want for people to do is, for real, it's just be you. Plus, I can't be me without being completely honest, right? My wife won't stop shopping. She won't. And I ain't trying to make her. So being that she like to shop and she keep on buying all these pretty clothes and pretty shoes, I'm gonna keep getting on here giving y'all free information so I can show y'all my pretty clothes and my pretty shoes. Cause Zabo 103 is also one of my businesses. And even though I ain't getting paid on none of these platforms, business expense, business expense, business expense, business expense, I can keep going. What's up, family? You gotta make up in your mind to do something different, y'all. You got to. And this stuff is not complicated. I promise you it ain't. It's one of them things where you just have to pay attention long enough and be disciplined long enough to start getting some results. Because when you start getting some results, you will become more disciplined because you know what's on the other side. Think about that for a second. Yeah, shoes and clothes don't make you nobody. None of that stuff mean anything. None of it means anything. This is the reason why, if y'all haven't figured out, I go months and months and months without a haircut. If I go back to some of my old videos and old pictures, I was going to get a haircut every 4 days. Every 4 days, I was getting a haircut. And I said to myself, what am I doing that for? What's the real point? I need people to understand that not listen, it don't matter what nobody think. The results are what matters. You can be fresh to death, driving the most expensive car in the world. The results matter, y'all. Who cares about the other stuff? Man, I hear you saying that, man, but y'all riding around in a brand new Range Rover, a brand new Cadillac. We all gonna pull up at the same Quick Trip, at the same Amoco. And most people are gonna pump the same gas, no matter which vehicle you in. That Range Rover still take the same premium gas that you putting in your Infiniti or you putting in your Honda. It takes the same gas at the same gas station. Yeah, I mean, it make you feel some type of way. Sure, I know that's right. You get that fresh haircut, you feel like you the man, you the man. I used to be that way, family. That's why I used to go get a haircut every 4 days. I can call my barber right now. He'll be here in 20 minutes. It just is what it is. But that ain't what moved me no more. Last week when we closed on that 26 acres of land, I can't tell you, I ain't never had, when I buy land, that feeling is crazy, y'all. Ooh, I don't know how they got there. That was weird. Little spider. Like, what the heck? It just started crawling down. I get that. How long you been on this planet, family? If you don't mind me asking, you said you're much more older than people that's here. How long you been on this planet? I guess, get some form of a perspective. Because you 60, you 61, you 62. There are people in my lives right now that are in their 70s. I don't see John up in here right now. John don't be here. I think John is 74 years old. It ain't ever too late, y'all. 72. What's up, Jax? Every day above ground, y'all, is a blessing. If you woke up today, you got a chance. What's up, Mr. Larry? And I'm happy people throwing their age out there. And the reason why I'm happy that people throwing their age out there, I want people to understand you woke up. You woke up. You got a chance if you woke up. Now it's going to be about the decisions that you make with that chance you got. You got to be able to just refocus. You just have to. I was talking to my dad. What's up, Miss Donna? I was talking to my dad yesterday, and my dad's 73. And we were going back and forth. He always called me with the most wildest things, man. Cause he's stuck in his own way. He really is. He one of them cats that he ain't trying to retire from working. Well, he already retired, but he's still working. He be bragging, man, I get 9 checks a month. 9 checks a month? What are you doing, man? Man, I get 9 checks a month. I said, oh, okay, well, you got money in the bank. I ain't putting all my money, I ain't put all my money in the bank. I gotta have that cash money. I said, what do you mean you gotta have that cash money? Man, I need that cash. I don't care nothing about that bank. He got this theory with the banks. And it ain't gonna really change at this point in his life. He just feel the way he feel. This man told me, I said, well, Pops, you gonna be walking around with all that cash on you? Because you can't keep it under your mattress. He was like, I keep money on me. He said, I said, what if somebody robbed you? What if somebody robbed you? Like, man, I got money for the robbers too. What do you mean you got money for the robbers too? I give them that $200-$300. Tell them, man, take the money, man. Don't take me out of here. Just take the money. And I give them the $200-$300. I said, what about all the other money? He's like, man, it's hid all over me. It's hid all over you. You got to think too hard for this, Dad. The point that I'm making is, y'all, and I believe this. It's just me. I believe we're all were put on this planet to serve. I believe that. I believe that we were put here to serve. That's just me. That's what I believe. I believe that when you serve people, people will bless you. I'm not talking about serving with the understanding that they're you gotta bless me because I'm serving you. No, 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 no. I'm talking about just serving people unconditionally, and people will bless you. I believe that. If you've been on this planet and been through all the things that you didn't been through in your life, you gotta understand how blessed you are. I've been on this planet for 47 years. I know how my life was growing up. People that I called my best friends, some of them ain't here no more. Some of them are in prison. And they some of these people went to prison 18, 19. Left this planet at 15, 16. Not just a natural cause of leaving life because of the things that, we all were doing. And I've been on this planet for 47 years. There's no greater blessing. You've been on this planet 30, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. You know how blessed you are? Think. Think. This stuff is like, this stuff is wild, y'all. This stuff is wild, y'all. So what am I saying? I'm saying that today, make it a day that you spend some time just thinking a little bit. Once you stop thinking a little bit, maybe give yourself 30 minutes of just brainstorming and thinking. Spend another 30 minutes doing some research. Please spend some time doing some research. Um, I don't know what you're talking about, fam. You said that's this how you got 1.2 in your trust. I don't. I must have missed what you said. I think I missed what. I think I missed what you were saying, family. I don't even know what you're talking about, family. I don't know what happened. Oh, you saying that you got it by thinking? Is that what you're talking? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I missed what you said, family. I apologize. So I'm about to get ready to get up off here because I'm about to do some running around today. But I want y'all to give yourself the opportunity to do something different than what you ever done before. Life can be hard. It can be complicated. It really can. But it also cannot be hard. It also cannot be complicated. Think about the things that you have been through in your life. If fear is your issue, think back to when you had some real fears going on in your life. Use that. I promise you, the fear that you have about starting this business, about taking these steps, is nothing compared to the real fears that you've been through in your life. It never is. It just is what it is, y'all. So I'm gonna pop up off here. I don't know what time I'm gonna get back tonight. So we'll have to find it out. After Berlin reached from prison after 30 years. Well, let me make sure I understand you correctly. So you spent 30 years in prison and you're trying to figure out how to become wealthy after spending 30 years in prison. Is that the question? I don't make sure I understand correctly. Okay, so it's been 30 years, 31 years in prison. Um, well, the first thing you got to understand is all that time in prison does some things to you. It could do a couple of things to you because you could have been thinking and researching while you was in prison. Going to the prison library, doing the research, laying on your cot, thinking and dreaming about what you're gonna do when you get out. That could have happened. If that didn't happen, and you just went in prison and just stayed in survival mode to make it out, right? If he or she went out there just to make it out, um, then I get it. Didn't have time to think. The process is still the same. There is no difference. Let me give you an example of what I mean. There are people that have never been to prison, but they're in prison. A lot of people that's on my live right now that can't figure out how to get out of their rat race, they in prison right now. They will tell you you got to think outside of the box when there is no box to think outside of. I hope you following what I'm saying so far, right? I'm gonna get to how. The how is still simple. It's still the same process. Think, research, take action. Watch this. Let's say while your cousin was in prison for all that time, your cousin became a barber, right? Start cutting hair, right? They got out of prison and they want to pursue cutting hair, right? Now, I don't know nothing about cutting hair, even though I used to own a barbershop. But what I do know is the same government that put your cousin in prison will give your cousin a program in order to start his or her own barbershop or salon. Now, I'm not talking about like a government contract. I'm talking about the government has programs for people that get out of prison. That sounds crazy, right? Let's think about some other things. Maybe they don't cut hair. Maybe they don't do hair. Let's go to something that we know happen. Let's say your cousin spent all this time in prison. Your cousin did a lot of reading, a lot of research on things, and is very good at learning the legal parts of different things that could happen. Let's say your cousin got out and start working wherever your cousin can work or start a business to generate money based off of something that they know how to do. And your cousin decides to go and open up a nonprofit organization, right? Once your cousin go take and get that nonprofit organization set up, because your cousin had time to figure out how to do this nonprofit organization. They're good at researching things and reading things and understanding things and comprehending things because they understand it, right? Let's say your cousin, after getting this nonprofit organization, your cousin figured that I can go to the police department and see when they're going to have their next public and safety meeting and start requesting a portion of the budget that goes back to the community for public safety. Watch this. I got that book somewhere around here. I'm going to show y'all something. Let's say your cousin get there and get a piece of that budget for that organization. Now, don't go back into a life of crime. You want to help the community now. What happens if your cousin go get a property in the very same community that your cousin was a part of, can't really clean up everything, but talk to the people in the community that's still doing these random things because your cousin got that rank out there. And your cousin, after talking to them, tell them, hey, look, I'm about to get this property at risk for these at-risk kids. I can't have y'all over here at all. I'm not going to stop y'all from doing what y'all doing, but these kids that are going to be a part of this community, I want to keep them safe. The more you keep them safe, the more you're going to keep the police off and over here. You know those cats over there looking at your cousin like the big homie. All right, fam, you get that happen, man. We'll make sure ain't nothing going on over there. And your cousin started helping these at-risk kids not take the same path that your cousin took. No money, no experience, just understand the system. Let me see if I got that book over here. And I do. Tell your cousin go get this book. The revolution will not be funded. Tell your cousin go get that book. The revolution will not be funded. The revolution will not be funded. Tell your cousin to go get that book. That's what I would. I mean, that's just me. Start taking the problem that you have and turn it into a profit. That's what my mama told me. In every problem, there's a profit. That's everybody's secret right there. Whatever your issue is, whatever you're struggling with is your problem. If you figure out how to solve your problem, guess what, boys and girls? You can make a profit off of it. Now you solving other people's problems. When you start solving other people's problems, you'll turn a profit. It's a fact. It just is what it is. It is what it is. I'll give you an example, and I don't like shouting people names out like this. And I don't know this person. I've seen this person like on social audio before. Some people like this person. A lot of people don't like this person. But I think it's interesting the way his brain think, and I think he be doing some reckless stuff sometimes. But I just be like, oh yo, he be on some stuff. But I gotta call a spade a spade. He's a smart dude. There's a dude on social media go by Whack 100. I ain't gonna say he an ex game member, he a game member. I don't know that situation like that. I know he was a part of a life, but I see the moves that he be making sometimes, and I be like, ooh, that dude's sharp. He spent time in prison. I watched him work out a deal with Kanye West. I watched him work out a diaper company uh, with Nick Cannon. I seen him do some stuff with Mayweather. I seen him do some stuff with Elon Musk. There's really not an excuse, y'all. In every problem that you have, there's a profit. That's what's wild about this life, y'all. Your biggest problem that you have currently, right now, today in life, is your profit. Your experience matters. I think about my life all the time and I say, man, I don't know how I survived getting up out of little Vietnam. I don't. I don't. I really don't. I don't know how I survived in corporate America without having a college degree. I really don't. I don't understand how I became wealthy. My mom was on drugs from when I was 3 years old till I was 16. She got clean for the last 50 years of her life. God rest her soul. She became a nurse, a registered nurse at that, and she went and got her own nursing home. She ran that nursing home for years. It was hers. I can't understand how I did these different things, but I understand in every problem there's a prophet. I understand that no matter what your situation is, you were put here to serve people. You went through that situation so that you can serve other people. You ever heard the terms of your gift will make room? But look, y'all, I'm gonna get up off here. I might pop back on here a little bit later on. It depends what time I get home. If I do get back by the we supposed to ride by the 41 acres of land to meet with the civil engineer. Nope, not the civil engineer. The mechanical engineer. Um, he wanted to walk a portion of the land. I'm like, man, I ain't walking this land. Not right now. We ain't cleared now. I ain't putting no snake bite boots. I'm not doing it. I'll ride out there and meet you out there and you can walk it. I'll sit out there for a second, but I ain't doing that. Or you go walking and I'll meet you out there so we can talk about it. So if I get out there and I get a little time, I might go live while I'm out there on the 41 and a half acres of land. If not, I might make it a point for us to go down there tomorrow or something. I'm gonna talk to the wife and see if she want to ride down there with me. That might be cool. So look, y'all, I will holler back at y'all. Remember, give yourself time to think today if you don't do anything different. In the meantime, look, y'all be good. I have fun being bad. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.